Subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to get all the latest updates.
Behind any beautiful thing, somewhere there is a little bit of pain. Right now, we are here in the house of Dr. Rajni Jagtap, who has recently lost her husband due to COVID-19. Dr. Rajni Jagtap has now taken up this mission to reach out to those families who have lost someone or other due to COVID-19. Dr. Rajni, first we would like you to introduce all the members of your group.
When I put forward the idea to her after losing my husband, she was very gung-ho about it, and she thought it was a fantastic idea to reach out to people because it was probably an idea whose time had come. There are so many people who have lost their loved ones and who are not able to deal with their grief because there is nobody in their house. They're not able to relatives are not able to visit them because of the stigma of COVID-19, or also probably because they themselves are affected with COVID. The grief of not meeting their loved ones before when they died, or not, performing their last rites. These are problems which I faced. So I thought that reaching out would be the right thing to do. So I contacted Divya for that, and you take over, Divya.
Yes, Divya. So I basically, after speaking to Dr. Rajni, I said we have to do this, and so I just randomly made up a poster in the hope that it would reach people, and I put it up on WhatsApp and on Facebook, and it just went viral, which is great. Like, it was completely from the heart, and we are so glad that it was able to reach so many people. And I think after that, everyone just came together. We were getting people calling us up for, to do music therapy and so many other things that they wanted to do for the participants. And so that's how this whole group just came by and came up. So that's, yeah.
So, Divya, what were the challenges, in starting this entire mission or this thing?
Right. So the first challenge as a psychologist that I faced is usually counseling is done face to face. It's better to do it face to face. And the biggest challenge was to have a group session on on Zoom or on Google Meet or whatever. And to do that was a huge challenge, to also connect in a time of grief and to have people trust us enough to come forward and reach out was like a really, really big challenge for us.
So we come to you.
Yeah.
We're talking about art of living. So can you please explain your role in this process?
Yeah, I've been an Art of Living teacher since the last 12-13 years, and I've been teaching the course at various places in India, and the experience of people has been so great. I mean, so many lives have been transformed through the Sudarshan Kriya that we teach in the course, that I decided that I should join this group so that it helps people come out of their sorrow.
So what were the legal challenges when you started this group?
I'm Advocate Krishna Chauhan, and I'm here to serve my legal part of help and support. When I came to know from Rajni that she lost her husband, and then she started with this initiative, I immediately said, yes, Rajni, I would like to extend my legal support, whatever way it can be. And my help would be to extend my support to people who are in the need of legal assistance in the case where people have lost their loved one and they do not know where to approach for legal transfer of properties. There are a lot of family and property related disputes which they may have to resolve. So I am here to provide my voluntary service and maybe a help which is going to help people who are in need. So definitely one part of my legal aspect will add to this initiative, and I thank all my team members for including me in the group, and we will succeed to help people in their grieving time. Thank you.
Ma'am, please explain me your role in this.
I'm Dr. Beena. I'm actually an anesthesiologist, but my passion is fitness and nutrition. So I've been practicing for the last 20 years. It's COVID situation. We're not just one. There are so many more people also getting affected. And you never know when the next person in the family could be affected. So staying fit, eating the right food, being healthy, improving your immunity, all these things are important. And as for my own experience, like I've also gone through a major accident and trauma. So my own experience with that has taught me that fitness or health related things do keep your endorphin levels high and help you to recover much faster. It gives you a sense of doing something, more action oriented, a goal oriented, and it helps to help you to come out of a grief situation.
Please tell me what had happened with your husband. How did he get infected, and what happened later?
Yeah, I'm the head of a civic hospital, Veer Savarkar Hospital in Mulund in Mumbai. And I have been working for COVID patients right from the beginning of the lockdown, 23rd of March. My husband had also has retired from the BMC 2 years back, and he had a small clinic in the same locality, and he never stopped working, even during the lockdown. So both of us, in that sense, were exposed to patients. And 3 months down the line, I became COVID positive first. And 4 or 5 days after that, he started developing symptoms immediately after I became positive. When he got tested positive on the 28th of July, 28th of June, I'm sorry. And he had a lot of comorbidities. He had an angioplasty in the past. He was borderline diabetic. He was hypertensive. He had a heart condition. So it was necessary for him to get admitted. And within a day of getting admitted, he was found to have developed COVID pneumonia. And even though he was getting all the treatment, things just went downhill from there. And what I faced after that was what I faced even before that was bad. What I faced after that was worse because I didn't have any shoulder to lean on. I was dealing with my grief alone. I had 2 girls staying with me who were taking care of my mummy, and one of the girls was also COVID positive. So there were no relatives to visit. There was Beena on the phone, of course. My sons were there. We used to video chat every night. And but the trauma of not being there, the guilt that, maybe it was me who got infected first, so did he get it from me or did he get it from a patient? All these things, they just wreak havoc on your mind. And then what do I do about the last rites? Because in any religion, last rites hold a lot of meaning. It gives closure to an issue. There was no closure because I wasn't there to do last rites. My sons are away from home, so they couldn't be there for the last rites. So I was in hell of a lot of trauma. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, never.
So is this the reason why you started these sessions or this group, because you don't want anyone else to face the same pain?
No, they're already facing it because of COVID, but then helping them to deal with it and come out of the trauma, because all these other things are there, which I spoke about earlier. And I had colleagues who are facing this kind of thing because we are all healthcare workers. So the maximum deaths are in the police and in the healthcare workers. So I found that there were a lot of people who had lost not one but maybe 2-3 members of a family. And if I was going through this, I couldn't even start to imagine what they must be going through. So that was when I just put forward, but we have a walking group where Divya is also part of it. So I just put forward the idea in the group. Another member of our group also lost her husband to COVID. So I just put forward the idea in the group, and then Divya took it up from there, and then we didn't look back. Yeah.
Divya, can we talk a bit on the mental health of these either people suffering from COVID or the relatives who are attending to a COVID person?
Right. So basically, mental health has always been a thing. It's just been given more importance now. It used to be a taboo issue in the beginning, but now, thanks to so much of awareness, people are being okay with reaching out. They're being okay with coming for counseling sessions and all that. So I think the COVID has just kind of opened that kind of box for them to look into their mental health also. At the same time, I think grieving is such a personal counseling therapy session that happens. So for them to actually come out and reach out in their grieving to complete strangers that they have never spoken to or never met is very brave on their part. And right there, like, I always believe that the first step to any healing is to reach out. So I'm really glad that people are reaching out and people are coming and, you know, talking to us. And we're hoping that the group helps to heal, because, you know, when you're doing something in a group and your heart is in the right place, I think it's just something that works out best.
Can you please explain me the entire process, like from a patient or a person contacting you till to his healing?
In our group?
Yes.
Yeah, we are in touch with, basically Rajni and I being healthcare workers, so we are in touch with a lot of people who are suffering, and we are spreading messages in whichever way we can. So in fact, there are times when we ourselves contact them, would you like to be a part of this group, because we are doing something. Sometimes there is a lot of resistance. There are people who are reluctant. It takes time. There are people who we've been constantly calling up and trying to get them to understand that it's not going to be invasion of their privacy. We have formed a circle of trust where we are trying to be as helpful within the limits of the group. And unfortunately, there's another issue where a lot of the women are actually suffering issues with intimacy. They've lost a spouse of 20-25 years. So that's something which generally is not spoken about as easily. So we are trying to, in fact, even reach out in that aspect, because maybe it's deep down they're struggling with some of those issues. You have a person right there 24/7 around you. So that's also a major void in their lives.
Have you received any government help, or are you working with any government organizations also, so that you can expand this thing further?
Right now it's just something that started from a very like Rajni's pain. It started from there, and we really didn't think it would become so big, and we'd get so much response. So basically, right now, to answer your question, no, we don't have any help from anywhere else, but we're open to anyone who wants to help, because we're just here to help, and we're okay if people approach and want to help for whatever reason. So that's an opening for us, an avenue for us, but and also our participants definitely. So yeah.
Ma'am, last question I would want to ask. It's, as Divya says, it started with your pain. So now you're into healing people with that pain. So what is the future of this group? How do you intend to carry it forward?
We are getting a lot of publicity. Newspapers have been approaching us. I don't know. I think it was just, like I said, it was an idea whose time had come. So people are sharing it on Facebook, on WhatsApp. Newspapers are approaching us. Like, I'm pretty sure that after this piece of news goes out, there are going to be more people who are approaching us. And also medical colleges, like I have some friends who are doing psychiatry, who are psychiatrists at Nair. So they have been referring patients also. So even if we have just one person coming for the therapy, we have decided ki chalo, we are going to just go ahead and do it.
Okay, one more thing. Because you have been, going through that trauma, and even you have lost someone very dear to you. Yeah. So, and there is a lot of, obviously people come with their grief, with their pain. There is a lot of pain around, even in this group, right? So, doesn't this pain affect you? Doesn't this grief affects you in a personal way, like your mental health or something? So?
No, now I'm going to quote Divya here, because there is this period where you have to deal with your grief, where it is okay to be vulnerable, where it is okay to cry, and where it is okay to internalize somebody else's grief also, because somewhere that is touching a chord with you and helping you deal with your own grief. So I think it's okay. I think by and by I will also heal, and I will also be able to take their grief like a counselor.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So this was Dr. Rajni and her group. As Dr. Rajni says, she is not only battling with her own grief, but with also that pain which the others are suffering. though this pandemic has given us a lot of pain and sufferings, it has also given us some heroes like Dr. Rajni. With Shiva Devnath, this is Nazia Sayyed for Mojo Story, Mumbai.